Hello, Rooted podcasters, back with another episode of Rooted. Today, the topic is respecting yourself. Seems like common sense, doesn't it? But common sense doesn't always mean common practice. And let me explain to you that in 2024, I went through a prolonged season of what? Huh? No, you didn't. And with that came the opportunity for me to really hone in on what it would take for me to truly respect myself enough to. And I'm going to share those learnings with you today. So, here's the first thing I'll say. I want you to think about the idea and the commitment to respect yourself enough to accept responsibility for your own life. This is the foundation of self-respect, actually. To have enough respect for yourself to be willing and committed to accepting responsibility for your own life. It is nobody else's job but yours. Nobody else's job but yours. Next, I will say, I want you to respect yourself enough to have courage, like truly. I went through a season of experiencing a lot of cowards, people who went silent, people who would tell me what they really thought but not say it in the room. You have to have courage. And courage is across the board. Courage enough to be kind, courage enough to express yourself, courage enough to defend yourself, courage enough to be consistent and disciplined. I want you to respect yourself enough to have courage and be committed to practicing being courageous. I want you to respect yourself enough to eradicate the attachment to people who actively never reciprocate, where those relationships are one-sided, where you're trying to figure out why you're always the one volunteering or always the one planning or always the one organizing or always the one reaching out. Respect yourself enough to eliminate, eradicate, move away from people that never reciprocate. Next, I want you to respect yourself enough to put boundaries on your kindness. Yes, you can put boundaries on your kindness. As a matter of fact, it's even more kind when you put boundaries on your own kindness, so that when you execute kindness, it is from a genuine place and not from a place of guilt or obligation. I want you to respect yourself enough to once and for all, heal the wounds that plague you. If you heal your wounds, you transform your entire bloodline. You change fundamentally the course of your entire family. I want you to respect yourself enough to be selective in everything. People think picky is a bad word. Picky is life-giving. Selective is liberating. And I mean everything. Be selective in the books you read. Be selective in the conversations that you convene. Be selective in the people that you're around. Be selective in the TV that you watch. Be selective in the music that you listen to. Be selective in the way that you spend your time. Be selective and respect yourself enough to be selective. I want you to respect yourself enough to want to feel better and do whatever it takes to do so. Listen, I've been in a season where I've been navigating menopause. Baby, you just get used to feeling bad, fatigued, brain fog, joints hurt. Like things that aren't explained. Like I can't explain, why is my shoulder not working today? I want you to respect yourself enough to advocate for yourself and literally respect yourself enough to want to feel better and then go about figuring out how to do it. I want you to respect yourself enough to hold the line on rejecting the conversations that are gossipy and hateful and mean-spirited and talk about people. I want you to respect yourself enough to have higher hopes for the way in which you convene. Reject gossip, mean-spiritedness. Reject all of that. Respect yourself enough to just reject that crap. You don't need it. It's toxic and it does nothing to build you up. I want you to respect yourself enough to let go of people that are not invested in you and that you spend a lot of time proving your worth. Just be done. Respect yourself enough to be around people that already know that you are valuable. Respect yourself enough to commit to your own evolution and not holding up the image others have of you. I no longer care, nor will I spend any time trying to live up to the image people have of me. I am only committed to my own evolution, and I respect myself too much to do anything but that. Respect yourself enough to be more direct. Clear is kind, as Brene Brown says, but forget that. Direct is divine, baby. Direct brings about peace. Say what you mean what you say. Say no without explanation. Don't sign up for stuff you don't want to do. Get away from obligatory action. Be direct in how you feel. I'm telling you, this is a game changer on the respect line. I respect myself so much that I'm going to tell you exactly what I think and why. And guess what? I don't always have to tell you why either. But I'm definitely going to tell you what I think. Right? I get it. People aren't ready for that. Well, I'm not ready for being somebody other than myself. Respect yourself enough to deeply value yourself and what you bring to the table. Stop discounting your skills, your talents, your feedback, your guidance, your counsel. Stop discounting your friendship. Stop discounting your perspective, your lived experience, your opinion. Stop discounting it. Respect yourself enough to not put yourself over in the bargain bin. You are a full price human being. Respect yourself enough to value what you bring to the table and value yourself enough to not say you can do things you can't do. There are things that are not your ministry. It's okay. You have enough going for you that you don't need all that other stuff that is not your strength. Respect yourself enough to get mad without being mean. You have a right to be mad when you're mad. You have a right to be joyful when you're joyful. You have a right to be frustrated when you're frustrated. Own it. But please respect yourself enough to be mad without being mean and ugly. That means you have places in your life that you have not yet healed. Respect yourself enough to be patient with yourself. Patience is actually a form of action. We're already into 2025 and people are telling me all the stuff they want to do. And I'm like, okay, see you in February when you're not doing any of the things you said you were due because you took on too much. Show yourself patience and kindness and forgiveness and mercy and grace. Respect yourself enough to do that. Respect yourself enough to be of value, but not always available. If I have not learned anything else in 2024, I am not going to be as accessible to people. They don't know what to do with it when you are. I respect myself too much to be always accessible, to stop, drop, and roll, to make it happen for other people. I have learned a valuable lesson, including the people in my family. I over-indexed in ways for people around me on my team, professionally, helping other people get jobs and make sure that they were paid well. And when things changed, Crickets. Nobody, and I mean nobody in those areas came looking, checking, or seeing if I was okay. So my accessibility to people has changed. I'm only going to engage when I want to, and I'm only going to help when I want to, and I'm only going to support when I genuinely want to, because I respect myself too much. Respect yourself enough to no longer be willing to be someone's energy supply. Folks, can't say it enough. Time and energy are the things you can't get back. Let me say it again. Time and energy are the things you can't get back. Do not expend energy in ways that make you somebody's total energy supply. That is not your assignment. That is not your job. That is not your ministry. That is not your role. You are not to be somebody's total energy supply. Respect yourself enough. Heck, that's even ego. You ain't that great to think you can be the energy source for somebody all the time. You remove the opportunity for people to do their own work, to find their own joy, to find their own happiness, to find their own path, to find their own way when you sign up to be their energy supply all the time. Don't do it. Respect yourself enough to speak kindly to yourself. Respect yourself enough to stop apologizing for stuff that you are not sorry about. Respect yourself enough to trust your gut and your intuition. If they seem shady to you, they are. If it's too good to be true, it is. If they seem to be off in some kind of way, trust your intuition. If they tell you who they are, let them be who they are and adjust accordingly. Stop expecting you from other people. Respect yourself enough to not do that. Respect yourself enough to realize that what you've done is already enough. Ooh, New Year's resolutions and vision boards are flying, and people are saying all this deep stuff. You're already enough. Respect yourself enough to realize that what you already have is enough. You do not have to just knock it out of the park every day and over-function every day and over-index every day. Sure, enhance, grow, evolve, but on your own terms, by your own definitions. Respect yourself enough to take a break when you need to without guilt. Respect yourself enough to claim rest as your birthright. Part of our issue in the world today is people have not had the courage to respect themselves enough to have boundaries. Respect themselves enough to not let the limitations of others dictate how they move and grow. Rooted Podcasters, respect yourself enough. Hey, Rooted Podcasters, let's stay connected. You can follow me on Instagram at Pamela Benson Owens and at Rooted with PBO. Hey, Rooted Podcasters, wait right there. On January 10th from 7 to 9, I'm hosting a virtual event called Made for More. You don't want to miss it. You can register and come. You will not be sorry.